5 Carabao Cups now for Pep Guardiola after the triumph against Arsenal yesterday, bringing his trophies total at Manchester City to 19 and 40 in his whole managerial career at Bayern Munich and at Barcelona. And it feels, the club are celebrating it even when they have had a not so consistent season in the EPL and been dumped from the UEFA Champions League, all to the detriment of Arsenal, who are eyeing that quadruple this season.
That was actually an unreal dream.
Yeah.
It was only a foul dream. It was only gonna last as far as possible. It's not even funny that they crumbled at the first sight of. So it's understandable that Guardiola is being celebrated this much. He has achieved a lot in his managerial career from Barcelona to Bayern Munich and now Manchester City. So you cannot take anything away from the man, despite the kind of season they're having currently.
And he's less than 10 years at Manchester City.
He spent about, he's in his 8th season, if I'm not mistaken, and he has won the Premier League 6 times. He has won the Carabao Cup 5 times. He has won everything.
Everything there is to win in England, so
he's worth every celebration, he's worth every praise that he gets.
Now let's move away from Manchester City because they are still mounting a title challenge and Guardiola.
Is there really still a title challenge?
Well, even if
Arsenal are ahead by 9 points, despite the fact that Man City have a game in hand.
But the thing is, one thing I'm going to actually want us to discuss is the fact that Arsenal this season, I don't know, they have developed a total brand of football. I'm going to call the dark arts, because you could see how they were neutralized against Manchester City. If they were not able to create any chances, they were looking for a corner kick to get a chance. And did you see how Pep Guardiola blocked that midfield?
There is no written rule.
I know there is no written rule. Right.
Long as you are playing by the rules and you are getting your results, it's allowed. So.
But don't you think that pattern has actually affected them?
It has not affected them because they are top of the Premier League by 9 points. And because they lost in the Carabao Cup final does not mean that they are having a bad season.
For how long will they sustain that tactics?
They've been sustaining for about a couple seasons now. Arsenal have been around for a while now. They came second.
I'm talking about the tactics of having to score your goals from the corner.
You can get your goals however you want, however you can, long as you are playing by the rules.
But stats says that most of Arsenal goals has come from set pieces.
Most of their goals have not come from set pieces. A chunk of their goals have come from set pieces. Liverpool have scored the most goals from set pieces in the Premier League this 2026, but no one seems to be talking about it. But when it comes to Arsenal, everybody...
Because Liverpool are playing a well-branded football that fans can allude to.
How do you mean well-branded football?
JD, what I'm saying is...
Liverpool have no identity, you know, right? They have no identity. Today they are
playing and slot football.
So next day they are nowhere. So Liverpool are not, they don't have an identity, if you ask me. Arsenal are the best team in the Premier League.
Right now, and you can see it. They deserve to be, because some of the top side that we are actually putting up on, they have been so dismissive and they have been so inconsistent in their results.
You can argue that the other teams have not lived up to expectations, but then Arsenal have been consistent. If they've either been second or third in the last 4 seasons. So if they end up winning this title, it is
well deserved. Okay. Congratulations to every Manchester City fans, because for me, I say that anybody who is supporting Manchester City, it means that you are a modern fan. It's not, you don't know football. You know football, no disrespect, but I mean, for you to start supporting Manchester City, I have a friend that does. This is not a big deal.
You can only grow up to support the club of your time.
Yeah.
So people that support Chelsea of this world started supporting Chelsea as at the time when Chelsea started making waves. People that are supporting Manchester United started supporting the club when the club started making waves and as at the time that they were born. So we really cannot fault Manchester City fans for being Manchester City fans, because we understand that they are one of the rays of the moment. It's a credit to them that they are supporting Manchester, and the fan base can only get bigger. So we understand.
Congratulations to them once again. Congratulations to Olamide Abe, and I'm sure that this week we are going to have time to celebrate that.
Exactly, because there's the international.
If you want to celebrate, so let's move away from the Carabao Cup and Arsenal being on the run. Do you think Manchester City can do a catch-up?
I do not think so. Lately, Pep Guardiola has not been the coach we used to know.
The magician.
His Manchester City team have not been the same that we used to know. they might have been saving face with some signings here and there, but then if you check their general gameplay, if you critically look at the team, you would know that they've been saved by individual brilliance over time rather than their team effort. So, but if you look at Arsenal, the cohesion has been there, the team chemistry is there, they know what to do at every point in time. They don't have outstanding players like no. Fantastic individual
but
players,
everybody contributes their quota.
They tend to deliver at all times. So I think Arsenal, with 9 points ahead at this time of the season, we end up winning the title unless something unforeseen happens.
Unforeseen circumstances. All right, let's talk about Chelsea. It's been a very terrible run, if we are going to be sincere. Losing out in the Champions League with one of the highest goal margins on the European night for the club. Both legs 8-2, and then coming to the defeat against Everton 3-0. Not just the defeats, the performances, the players, errors from Sanchez, from Caicedo, players not turning up. Palmer has been a shadow of himself. Garnacho, imagine having to start Garnacho as your main winger. And there was a time I saw their game and I decided to go and check the options they have on the bench. You don't see any ambition. And let's look at the first leg against PSG in the Champions League. You can see the difference in the gulf of quality in terms of players that PSG were bringing on. Imagine having to take away Dembele, bringing in Cavachella, taking in Bakola, bringing in Dizadro. Those kind of players that you have.
In terms of squad value, Chelsea are not very far from PSG. You know how much Chelsea.
I'm not talking about squad value. I'm talking about gulf of quality. Players that can make a difference.
Then now, the blame comes to the management. The blame comes to the reasoning behind your recruitment process. You cannot go and spend 50 million on a player like Bino Gittins and then leaving on the bench for almost every game. You cannot go and spend that much on Garnacho and then not give him enough playing time. Chelsea have spent as much as PSG, if you ask me, but then the quality has not been the same.
It's crazy.
Then that takes me back to what I've always said about them. The plan is really not clear. It's been
so ambiguous.
It's been a downward spiral since the departure of Roman Abramovich from the club. I saw an interview that one of the owners.
That was Todd Bowley.
No, not Todd Bowley.
Okay,
he had an exclusive recently, and he was saying that the model is that they sign players for a certain amount of money, they develop them, and then sell for profit, and whatever comes after that is just a bonus.
Or
it means that they are prioritizing economic achievements over sporting achievements. So it is a pity for Chelsea fans, because this is what they have to deal with at this point in time. Chelsea that we used to know were the club that would always come up in big games. They will always compete. They will always be there competing for every title. But now it is about making profits and then balancing the books. It's such a pity for that club, because now I can say that they have no direction. You can see that they went for Rosenoir after sacking.
Which is safe to say that they could lose some senior players in the summer.
Definitely, some players are not happy in the squad. It is obvious. You saw the body language of Enzo. You saw Caicedo. You saw Cucurella. Most of these players are not happy. I feel like they don't like the new coach. They have reservations about him. But then you saw the interview that what's his name now, the captain of the side, Enzo Fernandez gave. It's not what a captain of a club like Chelsea should come out to say. So I feel like there's a lot of problem going on in the background that we are not aware of. I just feel that they find a lasting solution to this.
It's a very disturbing situation, a scenario, because for a club like Chelsea that has won everything there is to win at club level, it's been like you said, a downward spiral, not an upward trajectory, and the fans are clamoring, and it's a lot. But then there is also the talk that there's a kind of disparity between the owners, Todd Bowley, the Blue Co, and also the Turkish part owner, because it is based that Todd Bowley has more dream in terms of how he wants, because Todd Bowley is one of the owners of Black Dodgers.
I understand. Yes, he's trying to Americanize Chelsea.
But then because of the other co-owners, they are not giving him room to work.
I think there's no chemistry between them.
They just came together to just buy the
You understand? I really do not know the motive behind buying Chelsea or forcing Roman Abramovich to sell the club. Chelsea in the next 2-3 years, if they don't change their trajectory, might just
turn out to be
become
another
like the
Tottenham.
Manchester United of the last 3-4 years. I just hope that the fans don't suffer for too long before the club realizes.
And then they need to get rid of this appointment of puppet managers.
No, that's what the model entails. You really don't understand. Chelsea are not out to compete for titles. They are out to make profit. They are out to balance the books. They choose whatever manager they know that will play to their rules. They cannot hire a manager that will not want to achieve sporting merit. So you can understand why they are bringing these coaches. When the moment Enzo Maresca started achieving sporting results, they got rid of him. They went for Rosenoir, was coming from Strasbourg, who had
and also they are a pattern of that.
You understand? So the path is clear. They know what they want on the management side. But then when you want something, you have to make it clear to the fans. You should not allow the fans to be high on their expectations and at the end of the day become disappointed.
Delusional, expecting something that
so
you know is not realistic.
The only people that can lose in this circumstance is the fans. I pity the Chelsea fans.
And also the players whose career are at stake, because some of them have a long-term contract.
They have options. You can decide to transfer. You can decide to move away from the club. You saw the project. You saw the vision before you came in. You decided to continue. You decided to sign. So there's no problem on the part of the players. If you feel that you are not getting sporting satisfaction, then you can
then you move. That is why you have representatives and agents. Now let's talk about the crazy bottom run. We have Wolves, who are actually condemned to be relegated. We are just waiting for official announcement. And Burnley, both of those teams, they are there just waiting for official announcement. And then another big side, can we call them a big side? Tottenham coming in. And also there is a report from the Athletic.
Not a big side passing, but I think the right word for that is a traditional side. Tottenham and West Ham United, they are a traditional side that might get relegated at the end of the season. And it won't be funny. It's all of
it's going to be crazy actually, because
sporting facilities and their
it means that Tottenham will be shredded into pieces in terms of players, in terms of sponsors, in terms of every sporting project that appeals to their partners.
If you fail to stay up in the Premier League, there will be a wholesome change.
But then what is the logic behind appointing Igor Thudor?
I really do not understand. You know, when there is no direction, you take some sort of decisions that are unexplainable.
Easier to win any game.
Tottenham are a club in shambles. Tottenham are a club with no direction. In the last few years, they've been hovering around. I don't even know what to call their play. I think they have a cultural problem, and until they're able to solve that, I don't see. I think
Daniel Levy is more or less like, in terms of business wise, is one of the weapons fashioned against. Yes. But then the trauma it costs those fans.
Tottenham are not traditionally a winning side. They are perennial underachievers. They've been around for since forever. But then,
so it means that can we put Tottenham and Fulham in the same bracket just to stay up? They just stay up every season.
No, Tottenham is not that kind of club that just wants to stay up. They want to flex muscles with the big sides. They want to be recognized as a big side. But then, in terms of achievement, they are way far off. Tottenham have no Premier League title.
Imagine winning the Europa, the first biggest trophy in their club history.
Overachieved with that Europa.
He did.
I think he got to them, and now they
felt like they deserve more. Yeah.
So now they are battling relegation. I just hope that they don't go down. Just because they are a traditional side, it wouldn't tell good of the club.
So many.
You can see how Leicester they are struggling in the championship.
And it isn't get to the Tottenham. Yeah.
I don't want such things to happen to Tottenham because you not speak all of the Premier League. But I just hope that they find a direction.
There are so many interest in some of their top players. Vicario, for example, Inter Milan. Inter Milan to replace.
Romero has been linked to Atletico Madrid.
To replace Jan Sommer. So many links. Cristiano Romero has been linked to Atletico
you should
and also
expect
Barca.
To see more links if they get relegated. Most of the big guys will have to leave the club. Or face being slashed in salary. So I think most of them would not want to see their salary slashed by 50%.
It's crazy actually.
You understand? Most of them would not want to play in the championship. So the most logical thing to do would be to ask for a move and for the club to cash in on them.
But then everything is still not lost for them because they are
not in the relegation.
Yes, they are
just hovering above the relegation.
They are hovering around that mix.
But then they've not won in 2026.
They have not.
That's in 14 games.
They have not.
They are yet to win a game in 2026.
It's just incredible how they plan to.
Stories coming out post-match yesterday had it that Igor Thudor might head.
Yes, that he will be sacked. It's just the clubs are just waiting to finalize.
If you sack Igor Thudor, who are you bringing next? And I've read that Redknapp is offering to salvage the situation.
I've read that.
Redknapp, he has offered to take up the job and help them out.
No, I think that's going to be one of their biggest mistake if they bring in Redknapp.
We saw something like that in the Italian Serie A last season when Cagliari were battling relegation. Ranieri came out of retirement and he helped them escape.
You can't put Ranieri. For me, I think if you talk about top gaffers, top managers, Ranieri is up there. Claudio Ranieri is up there. So if you are talking about Claudio Ranieri and Redknapp,
they are far off. So he's a veteran. He knows the club really well. He's a legend of the club. So I think he would come with a lot of motivation. The players will respect him. The atmosphere in the club will change, and it can actually help them to escape the relegation and then maybe build from there ahead of next season.
And I feel like some of the players, they feel like they are more than what sometimes. It's not just about character. There was a time, Jamie Carragher is not a pundit that I really, side with some of his opinion. But he said something, I think about 2 weeks ago about Chelsea. He said sometimes you don't need the coach. You have to be your coach inside the pitch. You have to tell yourself that I need to do my best. And some of the players that I feel like they are too big for coaches, instructions. People like Van de Beek, people like Dutch Spence. The Spence is only concerned about people that he cages and posting on Instagram.
Tottenham is not that club with such history. This is not Liverpool. This is not Chelsea. This is not Manchester United.
This is beyond what they can offer. Yeah.
Tottenham does not have that history whereby players give blood and flesh for them. You understand? Players just come.
Except players like Harry Kane and
you understand?
Son.
Even Harry Kane at some point had to leave because he couldn't endure it any longer. The club.
The ambition was not there.
They are not accustomed to winning, so you can understand that players does not have anything to look up to. They do not have any culture to instill themselves into. So they just come and give their best, and if it's not working, they just move ahead. We have seen Modric move ahead in the past. We have seen Gareth move ahead in the past.
Eric Lamela,
a whole lot of players have come and gone. So you can understand that.
And they have always been lucky with having top players. I don't know how they do it.
They are a rich side. They have the facilities. They have the money. They attract interesting players. So you should not be surprised by that. Even
and they pay quite well too.
You understand? Even the smaller clubs in the Premier League attract the best of players in Europe because they have the money. So that shouldn't be a surprise at all.
And to wrap this episode up, let's talk about Manchester United. Good run and so many shouts that Bruno Fernandes should be player of the season.
Player of the season for what?
For DPL.
I think it's a far cry. There are players that are more deserving of that.
I just feel like some Manchester United fan, they need to go outside.
I think the most consistent player in the Premier League this season has been Gabriel Magalhaes of Arsenal. He's been so consistent. He has won them very important points by
not just defending, scoring
goals and as well defending on the other end. So I feel like he will be in for a proper shout of
if Arsenal goes.
Bruno Fernandes is not far off, but then you can understand that they are even struggling to be in the top 4. So Gabriel Magalhaes would be the ideal winner. If you ask me, in my opinion, Gabriel Magalhaes would be.
I think another player that I'm going to give a shout to is Antoine Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo,
not in my opinion. Not in my opinion.
He carried his form from Bournemouth.
He's only having his breakout season, if you ask me. It is.
Do you think his breakout? He has been doing that constantly for
how long?
For Bournemouth. For like 2 seasons.
I think this is his breakout season. He has never had this kind of season in his career.
And there was a time that we talked about Antoine Semenyo and we said this is the best time for him to get his move. I remember it was during our sofa talk.
Exactly.
And I was against it that that you should just wait, finish the season. And you mentioned something that what if the offer never comes? And I'm glad that he actually
took the offer and is making the most of it. I just feel that he will be able to carry this until the end of the season and then even transform it into next season. Because you understand how Guardiola works. Once he sees that the new season is around, he goes for new set of players. Exactly. So he has the money to spend, so he's always looking out for new players. But I hope that Semenyo is able to continue in this rich vein of form and then transform it into next season. Okay,
finally, let's talk about EPL team's struggle on the European stage. It's so crazy.
It's not surprising, but at the same time, it is surprising because if you consider the amount of money that is made available to Premier League teams, they buy the best players in the world. they have one of the best, some of the best facilities in world football. So you should understand that they should be competing every season.
The elimination is definitely
but you cannot condemn them because this season did not go there, has not been going the way they envisaged, because last season they were there until the end, they competed at all fronts. But this season is a kind of anomaly. It is very unusual because it has not happened like this in the last few years. So you can understand sometimes when you come up against real quality, it shows regardless of how much money you have spent. PSG and Chelsea are a gulf apart in quality. Then the other team Tottenham came up against I think against Atletico Madrid. They showed them class. We can understand that Tottenham are struggling. Newcastle came up against Barcelona. Barcelona have been one of the best teams in Europe this season, alongside Bayern Munich and Arsenal. So it is understandable that they are struggling because the pairings did not kind of favor them. If they have been paired against some other teams from other leagues, probably their chances might have been bigger. But then we can spare them this season. We know that Premier League teams will always compete.
Although I'm not of the opinion that, because so many people make the argument that Spanish football are much more tactical.
Premier League does not have the best brand of football. They have the most glamorous league in the world.
They have that perfect brand.
The most expensive league in the world. They can afford to buy the best players in the world.
In terms of salary package.
You understand their league is attractive, but when you are talking about tactical, brilliance,
it's a far outcry.
You go to the Italian Serie A, that's where you see tactics, real tactics at play. If you are looking for technicality, you go to the Spanish La Liga. But when you are looking for physicality, you are looking for glamour, you are looking for end-to-end action, and then that's when it comes to the Premier League. You cannot take anything away from them.
Absolutely,
they package their league really well,
absolutely.
And
I applaud that. I do applaud that.
That is how you market your brand. It's really working for them, and I commend them for that. I hope that the Italian Serie A and the Spanish La Liga will learn
we emulate that. Yes, and that's that for this episode of the EPL and Arsenal Transit. For Manchester United fans, keep riding on the wave of momentum. Michael Carrick is doing absolutely well, and for Arsenal fans who have suffered another heartbreak in the Carabao Cup, I wish you well in your EPL title pursuit, and I'm sure that's going to be realistic.
There's the Premier League for them.
Yes, and for Chelsea fans, I think you have to endure this period for a while because
it will last for a while.
You have to endure
it's not ending anytime soon. To run into next season. I'm
telling you. And for Manchester City fans, people like Olamide Abe, I hope to see him this week though, and we'll celebrate the triumph.
Congratulations to Olamide.
Alright guys, thank you for sticking by. Catch you on the next one. Ciao. Bye.